Hello and welcome back to Hedgehog Makes. My name is Austin, aka Zombie Hedgehog, and today we are going to be unboxing the QIDI Plus4. Now, this was a printer that was so heavily requested on my channel that I just went out and bought one, because this guy right here, if the claims are true, if everyone that bought one of these is telling the truth, this could definitely be the printer that everyone's looking for. So the one that actually replaces a Bambu. QIDI is 2 an ounce, a multicolor unit for this, which is why I was immediately interested, because I'm looking for a big printer, 300 millimeters, that supports multicolor. So let's get started. I am streaming this live on Twitch, so if I'm reading chat, that's because I'm on Twitch right now. So if you want to join these streams live, I have a link in the video description. If you're down there, I'm trying to figure out how to open this thing. Do I hold on? How do I get this thing out of the box? Do I have to lift it, or do I cut the bottom off? We'll see in a second. While you're down in the comments, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. We have so much stuff coming this year. Read the instructions. How am I supposed to read the instructions if I haven't opened the box yet? Packing slip. Oh, wait a minute. West 3D. Oh, I bought this from West 3D. Is there anything else in here? Oh, a sticker. Yay. Wait a minute. How much did you guys take this apart before? I'm curious. Did you just like take the top off and then put a sticker in? So I did buy this from West 3D because they have the latest version of this printer. If you buy this on other websites, there is no guarantee that you're getting the up-to-date version with the upgraded solid-state relay. We'll get more into that, but you definitely want to make sure you're getting the latest version of this. This is not a special unit, I guarantee that. I'm not that special. But let's take a look at the manual. Yeah, no lollipop. No lollipop. What am I gonna do? Every time you order from West 3D, you get a lollipop, right? I don't even have any. I've eaten them all. Oh well. Oh well. We get a sticker though. We'll put the sticker on the printer. Alright, start guide. Let's see. Remove the upper foam and take out the printer. Alright. I should probably put this on the floor and then just lift it up. Let's do that now. Let's do that now. This is a heavy printer. Every time you move this, you want to make sure that you're, using a friend. Definitely don't lift this up by yourself. But let's see what we got here. Box is big. Save your box just in case. Save all the packaging material, because you never know when you'll have to inevitably return it. I'm not saying that you're going to have to, but just be prepared to. We have a whole top section here. And I don't know if this is supposed to come off. Let me take it off and then see if it's supposed to come off. Yes, it is. So you take off this whole thing. There's glass here. Glass is great. There is additional accessories in the bottom of the carton. Okay, so we take this out. We take out the printer. Oh. Oh. I forgot about that. Let's put that aside for now. A bonus package that you are going to miss unless you're watching the live stream. I forgot about that. All right, let's get this aside. If you want to purchase this from West 3D, make sure to use the link in the description, west3d.com/zombiehedgehog, and use code zombiehedgehog at checkout to save a few dollars. It is definitely worth it. Oh, cool. Okay, so, oh boy. Foam, it's staticky and lots of friction. Okay, we got it. It's just like, it's heavy and there's a lot of foam, but there's handles right here. So you can lift it up. And typically, I'm assuming you're not putting onto this high of a desk, but yeah, it's a bit awkward. Use a friend. The bits fell out. Oh no, it's okay. We get some foam. We get some extra things at the bottom I'll take out in a second. What if there's any more surprises in the box? Quick jerking motion. I'll try it next time. Let's see. Wow, they really... Okay, we're just gonna rip this because they put the tape at the bottom to hold this bag on. Like, seriously? I don't want to have to flip over the printer in order to take off this packaging material. Thank you for the 100 bits, Mark Panda. It's okay. We'll find all the missing bits. Woo! Wow! This thing is a monster! This is an absolute monster. Do I have a comparison? I don't know. Oh yeah, we're gonna be careful with the door. Is the mic sounding okay to you guys? Or is it just because I was lifting up a heavy package? Do I have a comparison? Not really easy. Here's a V0 back there, but it's hiding. A banana for scale. Nope, I don't have a banana. I have... Oh, what's this? This is a spool of Hedgehog Makes Galaxy Red PLA, coming soon to a Polymaker website near you. So if you want to purchase this amazing red color, I am absolutely in love with it. It is a custom color that I developed. It's a nice deep red with glitter. It makes for beautiful, beautiful plastic boats and anything else you want to print in it. So that is available on Polymaker's website. I'll have a link down in the video description if you want to pick up a spool or 10 for yourself. And actually, we'll probably use this spool as our test filament today, because why not? Red is an amazing color, and all the reds I used were just a little bit too bright, so I wanted something to kind of dial back the intensity, and that's a perfect spool for me. How am I going to work on this? Okay, so I'm immediately seeing this right here. So the paneling. Let's see if I can get a close-up of this. The paneling right down here is kind of jank. I don't know if we could fix that, but did that fix it? It's like pressing it in. Kinda. I could definitely tell that the paneling is a little bit on the less polished side. Still better than a Cybertruck, but I would say overall probably pretty good. We'll check for any shipping damage, of course, and any other stuff. Oh wow, it's the handles. Let's see if I can go to my overhead camera. Look at the handles on this thing. The handles recess and come up. That's pretty good. I've never really seen that on a printer. Like built-in handles that recess? Huh. Then the glass kind of avoids that when it goes on, I'm guessing. So you can lift it up with the glass panel on it. Like, come on. Everyone's selling giant printers, but no way to lift them. Seriously, have you ever tried lifting any printer without handles? How are you going to lift it? You got to try to get it from the bottom, right? But the bottom's all open. There's stuff on it. Carefully get this plastic off. This is probably just holding the door in place because they watched Uncle Jesse open up a printer and didn't have the best of time. Okay, so in the front, let's see. I don't even know where to begin. What does it tell us to do? Take out the door handle from the accessory box and screw it in. Okay, so there's no door handle yet. Will they rattle these? Maybe. Actually, maybe, yeah. Let's see, let's rattle it. They do rattle. I don't know. Does anyone have a solution for that? Because it is just plastic on metal, and it does sound like it's gonna rattle a little. We'll see. Maybe a tour of the inside of the printer while we're unboxing it. In here, under here, I can't really show you. Maybe I could tilt it a little. That's how Uncle Jesse broke his door, by the way. You can't really see it, but under here there is a little LED strip with white lights. And I can't even see into here. It's so big. We have our camera right here. I'm gonna take off the little protector. Don't forget that. Camera is right here. Looks like it's attached to the frame, and it'll give us a nice good angle of everything. You get foam on the top for sealing. The PTFE tube looks like it's in a pretty good path. Nice and clean path out to the back. The drag chain is slouching like all these other printers, but it should be fine. LED strip with lights, yes. And some diodes on them too. Anything else notable? We have this right here. That's our USBs on the back of this printer. That's interesting. So this must be where the board is. And I actually kind of want to take off this back panel because I want to inspect it. But first, let's follow the guide and throw on the... Actually, let's go to the side here. We'll throw on the... fairly grippy. Throw on the handles here. So we have this taped down. This is where a screen is going to plug in. What do you guys prefer in a printer? Do you prefer a top-mounted screen, a side-mounted screen, or a bottom or lower-mounted screen? What do you guys prefer? As long as I can see it. The issue is, a lot of my printers are up high, like those X1, P1s, etc. And it's kind of hard to see the screen, where the 2.4 has like a base-mounted screen. But if it's too low, you can still see it, the screen, if it's on the bottom. I'd rather maybe have it on the side or the bottom, maybe. Not sure. Doesn't matter as long as it works and is accessible. Right, exactly. Imagine putting a screen on your tool head. Big Tree Tech wants a word with you. Okay, and now I can't open up the door. I can press it in from this side. Got another peel. Look at that. Beauty, glass. Glass. So the one concern with glass is slamming. I'm not going to test it, but it looks like the glass just kind of hits this plastic right here. And that right there, that motion could definitely cause it to have an incident. So just be careful with your door. Oh, I love how it says QIDI Plus4 on the bottom here. You can't really see it. Yeah, you can. It looks so good. Let's go into the box and see what else is in here. And I think that's it for the box. I don't know where the stuff is. Oh wow, we have some some PLA Rapido black that goes right into the garbage. I don't understand why they send that little filament. I'm not using it. That's the manual. Oh, that's the quick start. That's the quick start, and this is the manual. Okay, so they're similar, but different. Let me zoom out a little. We have our screen, HD screen, Ethernet. Yes, this printer has Ethernet, unlike Bambu. Some tools. Looks like we have a little nozzle wrench. Even a spare fuse. I wonder how much power this printer draws. Lubricant and how to lubricate it. I like that. Ooh, a fancy screwdriver. Last time I saw one of these, I think it was a Prusa, maybe? But a fancy screwdriver with a small tip. That's really nice. Oh boy, a metal scraper, okay. Not a terrible looking scraper, actually. I just caution gouging these onto your PEI beds. You always want to go at a low angle. Never use the corner, because that'll gouge it and scrape it. Glue stick, which we are going to instead use our nanopolymer adhesive. I love this stuff. I use it on everything. I'll have a link down in the description if you want to pick that up as well. And this is our handle. Perfect. So we can put this box aside and see what's in this box over here. Ooh, spool holder. Okay, looks like it just screws in and looks like it's just plastic. I kind of prefer that. I don't like spool holders that rotate because they tend to over rotate and then you lose and tangle your filament. Oh wow, what is this? This is like, is this for the spool? Really? Wow, that is absolutely intense. That's the most overkill spool holder I've seen in a while. Power cord as well. Perfect. All right, so we're going to start by getting the handle on so we can open up the door. I really like how this whole assembly is screwed in, so if we want to mod it, we can, right? That's probably one of the number one items that you'll do to significantly improve your experience in a printer is the spool holder and the spool experience. But I'm hoping that eventually we'll have a multicolor add-on for this so that we can have multicolor, right? So why am I excited for this printer? Well, for the longest time, everyone has been begging. Oh, okay. This little inserts stay in the handle, apparently. No? Wait. Hold on. Take the door handle out. Do these go into here? There's already like little pegs in the door, so we do not need those little pegs. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like we do. There's already the same little pegs, plastic spacers in the door, so I'm just gonna remove these. But anyway, everyone, including myself, has been just asking one very simple thing of Bambu, and that is, make a bigger printer. Where's my camera? Make a bigger printer. Seriously. 250 is great. 300 is better. I think 300 is like the best overall size printer. Maybe a little bit larger. Maybe 305, huh? 305? So you can print 300 perfectly? Huh? 305? That's a good number. So I think the printable size on this is 305 by 305 by 280, but they include a 310 sheet because you obviously, Elgato, hello Elgato, usually don't print edge to edge. Like you just don't print edge to edge because that's kind of tricky. Kind of tricky. But if you're getting a replacement bed, you want to use a 310 cubed. And it's just a plain flat bed. So we'll take a look at that in a second here. I'll probably have to stay on this view because this thing is huge. All right, and next is the screen. Oops, yeah. Ooh, that's satisfying. Magnets, very nice. Open it. It's kind of stiff, so it holds its place pretty well. And when the printer is shaking, it'll probably not shake that much. And then when it closes, it has a nice magnet that's hard to open. Very nice. Yes, I got the shirt. I'll have a link for this shirt down in the video description. That is a very, very awesome shirt. And it has kind of a replication of my Hedgehog Makes Galaxy right on there. Pretty good. You wouldn't remix a boat, would you? Would you? Would you break the license agreement of the Benchy so you can print a cool remixed Benchy? Your SVO4 is 320 by 310, but the printable area is 300. Right, so beds will always usually be oversized, right? Usually it's better to install a bigger bed onto like a smaller printer than the other way around. But, you know, proper printers will have a balanced size of bed to motion system ratio. So we're installing this right here. Maybe I can even go to the overhead and do some zooming over, kinda. So we're installing this right up here. you gotta kind of have to tuck the cables in. It's a long cable. And it seems like there's way too much of it, unless it just kind of, oh, it goes like that, okay. So, oh, actually, never mind. There's a cable channel right here that you put the cable in. Welcome in West 3D into my Twitch chat. We are streaming this live on Twitch if you're watching on YouTube. So once again, make sure you're following my Twitch account. How does this work? Oh, okay, there's one more little thing. No, it goes on the outside of this somehow. Outside of this? How does that work? Oh yeah, that's what kind of like goes in. Wow, I am struggling. I am struggling. Why am I struggling? I should not be struggling this hard. Why am I struggling? Okay, like that? Like that. Perfect. Got it. So the angle is not adjustable. I'm guessing because of the length of the cable, you can modify this as needed. Maybe print a little swivel bracket, but it's overall seemingly good for now. Power. I guess we should probably remove the you know, cardboard over the front. Doesn't tell us to do that, but we should probably do that. Wait, no. It wants us to. No, hold on. It does want us to power it on first. Huh? Oh, okay, actually, yeah, let's do that. It does. It actually wants us to power it on with all the stuff attached. I would opt against it, but let's see what it can do. I'm going to use my own power cable because it's already plugged in. Luckily, they're using a standard IEC connector, so you can just use whatever. Hold on, where's the power? Where is the power? Hey Crafter, welcome on in. Thank you for your raid. Oh, is it on the side of the printer? You know, I don't know if I'm totally opposed to that, because if you have a short desk, then you might have to plug it into the side. Oh, are we... the input... Oh my god, I can't even get around here. The input power... Oh, the input power of the machine is 100 to 130. Perfect. So we don't have to adjust it. And it's turning on. Woohoo! Is the bed screwed down? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm trying to get a good view of this thing. I don't know if we can. I could probably get the close-up camera pointed at it. There we go. Powering on. Yep, cardboard is still in the print head. Yep. Oh, here we go. Select the language. We are in English. Next. Remove all ties. So it's actually telling us where to remove the zip ties. Pretty cool. I love that actually, because how am I supposed to know there's a zip tie here? Right? It's not like they can just put that in the manual. Actually, here. Here. So remove zip ties. Oops, I actually cut the print head doing that. Okay. And at the same time, it wants us to remove the... Okay, that actually bolted the gantry down. Oh my god. This tool head is massive. Wow. I'm guessing I have to move this tape too. That's a giant tool head. Wow. That is crazy. You want to see how big that is compared to a dragon burner? Here's a dragon burner just lying around. Like, dragon burner is tiny. compared to this thing. It's like 2 dragon burners in size. Crazy. All right, let's go back to this camera. So we removed all the ties, good. Remove 4 screws that fix hotbed. Okay, we can do that. Not sure how. Maybe I can. Without dropping it, let's see if I can get around to the side. Okay, there we go. I'll take off the heat bed. I've never seen them wrap that in plastic though. Is West 3D selling replacements for the PEI? But we're gonna remove the screws. Probably go to the overhead cam for this. Maybe like this view right here. Sure. Let's see. I'm using my Fabrico drivers for this. I like these guys. They work pretty good. No replacement sheets. Yet. All right, so remove screw. Okay, so that's holding down a bracket. Easy peasy, squeeze my lemons. Get this right here. And I do recommend, you know, having the bed off while you're touching it. And now this actually gives us a good first look on the inside of the machine. Actually, maybe that's why. Oops, one of the screws fell out. Maybe that's why they have you do this while the printer's powered on, because this LED is gorgeous. That looks like it's gonna work great. And oh my God, did they ever lube this Z-Rod? Wow, that is so covered in lube. That is amazing to see. Like, if it doesn't look greased, it's probably not greased. I love it. Overall, this is my favorite style of bed, where you have 4 rods and then 2 lead screws. And these lead screws look massive. Are these 10mm lead screws? Or something like that? They definitely look bigger than normal, like Ender 3 size lead screws. It is 10mm lead screws. Cool. I don't know if that really means anything, but it means they could probably make it flatter. Very interesting. All right, what else we got in here? We have a very cool nozzle array. So they have like a little pad, just like the A1, and then a dedicated wiper spot. Instead of using the bed, they literally just have a little, they can't see this, but a little metal pad right here. See that? That's where the nozzle's gonna brush, and it's just right here, and it's probably replaceable. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Looks like this whole module is replaceable. Oh, this has some tape too. So I guess we'll get this set up and then maybe tear off the back after we do our first test print. Is that it? Is that pretty much everything in here? Nozzle cutter. So QIDI preemptively put on a nozzle cutter on here. So you can see right here, there's a little lever. And that's a nozzle cutter. Sorry, filament cutter. Filament cutter, nozzle cutter. That's your nozzle. Oh boy. I kind of want to just dive right into this, don't I? How do you remove the tool head, or this thing? Is it just kind of come off? Does it have any special protection? Looks like it kind of comes off and then up, or do you have to unscrew it? Oh, to remove the front cover, first unlock it upwards and then move to right. Oh, wow. Look at that. Has literally instructions right on there. And then I can probably switch over to this camera to get a better view on the inside. We're gonna take just a quick peek at it before it goes through all its calibrations, I'm assuming. There we go. Look at that. beauty. So we have a hot end, which is very reminiscent of a Bambu style hot end, which honestly, I don't have a single problem with. I love that companies are just, you know, switching over to that style of hot end, which for reference, here's a stock Bambu hot end. It looks pretty similar, except they're using a cylindrical, no, they're not. They're not using a CHC. Let's see. They are using a flat, oh wow. How do you take this off? Oh, that socket's on there, isn't it? It looks like they're using a flat heater though, much like Bambu. I think it's a higher powered heater, and I like that style quite a bit. What is this? Is that a camera? Is that a camera or a sensor? I can't really tell. Filament sensor right here. This here is our filament cutter. So this actuates right here. And unlike Bambu, this cuts above the extruder. And I wonder if that'll help out with a lot of the issues that Bambu has, where it kind of cuts the filament, but the filament's still a little hot from heat creep, and then kind of melts and causes issues, or it blobs up and then can't pull out. I wonder if that's going to fix a lot of problems. Oh, it uses an inductive probe? Okay, so it has an inductive probe and a load cell in the bed. Okay, that's interesting. Inductive probes mean you have to get your bed up to final temperature so it expands fully. That's something to keep in mind. So if you're printing ABS, you'll definitely want to soak your chamber. A much bigger fan than Bambu uses. Looks like that's a, I think it's a 3010. A 3010 fan. Let me see, I just bought some from West 3D and I can compare the size. Yeah, they're using a 3010 fan. So a much bigger fan than Bambu. We're gonna do a lot of comparisons of Bambu here because this is a direct competitor. That means that it's gonna be quieter when running because it's a larger fan. I can't believe it took you know, that long to make a quieter system. On the back here, I can't really get into it, but that's probably where our electronics are, nothing special. But on the very bottom, we have, it looks like a 1515 fan of some sort blowing into this style of duct. Honestly, just like an A1. Just like how an A1 does it, which means that it's probably gonna cool great. Plus, it does have a side blower, so you can't really see it, but there is a side blower for curtain cooling. Oh, very cool. Welcome in 3D Musketeers. Nope, we didn't take the back off yet. I'm going through the instructions, so it had us turn on the printer first, and we're inspecting the tool head. Looks pretty interesting. I dig it. It's huge though. Not that it matters. Honestly, the number one most important thing about any printer is how stiff the tool head is. You can have a big tool head, but as long as it's stiff, it's fine. It's fine. You just don't want a wobbly tool head. All right, well, they're gonna carry on. Remove heat fixed screws. We don't have the heat. We should probably put the PEI back on. Just guessing. And it does give us a little warning saying that it's going to do the unboxing the calibration, and that the bed's going to move or something like that. The magnet, very strong. It's interesting. I've never seen this magnet type before. It's very like textured, or not textured. It's like plastic, like a plastic magnet. Is this an act? This is not a magnet, is it? No, this is plastic. Right? That's plastic. So it must have recessed magnets? Is that the case? No? It's a magnet? It's a weird magnet. I've never seen that. Anyway, slide that in place. It does have bed guides that kind of direct it in place. So when you get to the back, it kind of wants to go in. It's actually very hard to mess it up. I don't understand why so many manufacturers can't put a simple little bed guide in. Yeah, it's like nearly impossible to mess it up. If you just push it to the back, just push it, and then put it down. Easy. I think that's all of the packaging materials. Let's put this on, and then probably put the cover on too. Just guessing. The glass, full glass top, looks like this. Has cutouts on the side because of the handles. Oh, it even has a little thing on it. After sales support wiki, okay. And that goes on just like this. Now we're gonna note that there is, in fact, a cover on. It looks like it sits well. I dig it. Caution, glass. Yes, yeah. So if you want to lift it up, you could probably like do this. I like it. I love glass because this PTFE is probably gonna ride on the glass, and the glass is a lot more durable than what do you call it? Glass is more durable than like a standard like plastic cover, so pretty good. And then of course the handles are still accessible, so you can lift it up. I love that. I don't know. I'm assuming you could probably print like a TPU insert or just any insert really to cover this, like a handle cover. That'll prevent these from rattling around when printing. Acrylic, yeah, thank you. Acrylic is the word. Let's go back to the side right here and hit go. So it's gonna do its first homing and stuff. I didn't see a spare hot end in here. We have a flash drive though. We have a flash drive. And West 3D does sell a full set of replacements already for this printer, so if you buy one and need replacement parts, check out West 3D. You see a couple people put a block in the back middle to make the glass sliding back when you lift the front. For some people it jumps out easily. Oh, so you like lift it up and then it like, I don't know how it could jump up, but maybe like that. Yeah, you like put it back down on the handles. Yeah, I could see that. Just be careful. Just be careful. How much was that? That is the best part. So currently, on West 3D's website, this printer is selling for $800 US. 800. That is insane because the P1S, P1S, which is the black printer back there, that is about $700, $600 when it goes on sale. So for $100 more, you get an extra 50 millimeters in every direction. You have full clipper, and you have Ethernet. So there's a lot of advantages if this thing performs as well as the Bambu printers. That's why I use them, is because their quality is just so good with a tuned profile. And check my Patreon for tuned profiles for all printers, including Bambu. And of course, I'll upload one for this printer as soon as I actually use it. I have to use it. Yeah, it has 30 millimeters on the Z, which again, that's a nice addition, just 30 millimeters. Oh, and a chamber heater? Duh. I forgot the chamber heater. So there was an update to the chamber heater. They have revised it, and new units shipping from West 3D have the revised chamber heater. So if you're looking to buy one of these, again, recommend buying it from West 3D. I have a link down in the description. I like this flash drive. It's a really nice flash drive. Damn. 8 GB, but install the supplies holder. Okay, so it's telling us how to do that. So we put, oh wow, that's interesting. Huh. Unscrew the screws. I kind of like that, how the printer has screws screwed in, so you know exactly which one to use. Not bad. So these are self-tapping screws that'll just go into the back of the, this plastic. I think it's plastic back. Besides some panel gaps, overall the fit and finish of this printer is quite nice. I love the color. It's beautiful. It's a nice gray. It doesn't look bad. There's been a lot of designs of printers, including ones from QIDI, that look just horrendous. Oh, jeez. Of course, I dropped my screwdriver with the thing in it. It's okay, I retained it because I'm using the Fabrico driver. Nothing wants to fall out of that. I like that it's just a little screw-in piece, so if you want to print a new one, there's nothing stopping you. And I'll probably look into upgrading that pretty soon. I like to have my spools towards the front of the printer, just because I put these against the wall on a shelf, and I kind of like to have that access. So I might put it on the side where the power cable comes out. That would make sense. All right. Well, I need the spool holder because I don't have any other ones around. Need stickers, that's right. We need a sticker. Let's throw a giant West 3D sticker on here. What do you say? Which side? This side? There you go. So thank you actually to Polymaker for helping with this. I am a Polymaker first partner. That means that they help me with projects and helping get things like this to show off on my channel. So thank you once again to Polymaker. But I did purchase this through West 3D. Oh, that actually lined up perfectly. Nice. Look at that. Looks good. Yeah, there's a sticker inside the box. Inside of the box that was sealed. And a oh. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, and a thing that we're gonna unbox after the unboxing of this is over on my Twitch channel. All right, let's see. It's telling us to install the supplies holder, which goes in here. I like that, supplies. Oh, cool. It, like, indexes into here. Nice. I actually kind of like that. And then it's a solid block, which I love. I hate the rotating spools. It's not bad, except... Oh, you feed it to the side of the printer. Oh. Okay, so no, the spool's going over here. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. You could totally print something and then put it on this side somewhere. I'd imagine putting it on the front, having a little PTFE guide that comes, and then you put your spool here or down here. Like this. So put your spool right here. I like it. If you have something like a Polymaker poly dryer, then you can put that towards the side too, and then easily feed it in. Something like this right here. Put that over there, pop it up, and then whoop, feed it right into there, or go right to the back. That's a good solution too, because this is more or less a, not industrial printer, but it's a prosumer printer. So you're probably going to want to print materials like ABS, ASA, nylons, PC, polycarbonate, even PPS, CF. So pretty much like the most, the easiest to print of the high-end materials will be very easy to print on this printer, and you'll probably want to feed them out of a dry box because you're probably needing to actively dry them. So, oh, that filament. That was a fancy TPU from CookieCAD. Dark Magic TPU. Yeah, it's iridescent TPU. Imagine that. CookieCAD has some incredible things. And that's another thing that should probably be tested on here. Can it print TPU? Very nice. Does it have a filter? I did see a exhaust fan. I don't know if it's a filter. Not sure. Oh, cool. On the back of the printer, out of all things, it tells us to not... Oh, wait, no. Oh, there's another part. Rotate the holder 90 degrees clockwise for securing. Oh, what the heck? I don't know what that... Okay. What? Do you have to take off that little centerpiece to put filament on? Huh. Carbon fiber? Okay. Yeah, if you don't have a Polymaker dryer, poly dryer, I actually was on the development team for that. And I did make a nice suggestion of adding the center spool holder. So if you like the center spool holder, you're welcome. It was a fun project to work on. All right, we have that. Keep pushing the filament. Oh wow, we're like loading filament right away. Okay. It came with a little bit of PTFE tube, which we'll use here. QIDI lists a bento box style carbon filter. Okay, I'll take a look at that later. All 3D printers come with a 9-degree power cord. Yeah, that'd be good. Or like an adapter. Just like an adapter. So you can just, you know, put an adapter in and then plug your thing in. Because I don't mind the side power. I really don't. Because sometimes you want to press this right up against the back and the side power cable gets, you know, gets in the way. Or maybe having like 2 options for power inlets. Because you could do that, right? Well, you can't really do that. Never mind. Ignore me. You can't. That'll cause a hazard. Okay, so we're gonna use our we have our nice beautiful filament, but we gotta turn it the other way. Just gonna press it in and 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 in all the way. Easy loading until it kind of stops. There is a poop chute. That's right. I see a little tiny poop chute right over right over the electronics inlet. I don't know how I feel about that. Don't know how I feel. Next, where am I looking here? Keep pushing. Okay. Set nozzle temperature for filament. Oh, okay. So that's kind of weird. I guess we'll set it to 220 for PLA. And then it's heating up. Wait for nozzle temperature to reach the set point and then click next. A little bit manual, but we'll see. Who doesn't want poop in the electronics? Well, the poop isn't going to go in the electronics, but there's a intake fan right there too. I'm expecting someone to have a wow, there's actually a screw here. So maybe like a poop chute that screws into the existing screw. Just assuming there probably is. You at least want it coming off to the side so you can like see your poop. Maybe a little bin collector on the side here. I'll have to look at those. So why does this have a filament cutter and a poop chute? Because this printer has a vision of the future. We're gonna hit go. The future is that a multicolor box, much like those 4-color AMSs, hit load until filament comes out of the nozzle, okay? Keep pressing it until nozzle comes out. Like physically keep pressing it? Like that? Or is this like keep pressing it? I don't actually know. I don't know what's going on here. It's pulling it. Oh, there it is. It's coming out. Okay. Which is interesting because you'd think it would just like go back and poop it out instead of just pooping all over our bed. Interesting. Does it not use the poop chute yet? Does it not use the... Does it not use it? Because it's pooping on the bed. No, it doesn't seem right. I also hit the button way too many times, so it's just making a giant blob right there. It does when you load. Okay, so this is like a manual... Oh my god, I hit that button way too many times. Okay. Oh dear. Do we get this on camera? Nope. Maybe if I raise it up a little. Hey, look at that poop. See that? It's pooping. Okay. It's kind of just... Oop, there we go. Oopsie daisy. So they did test it. We have black in there. They definitely tested it. Where's this pointed at? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, next. Congrats, tutorial finish. Input shaping will be automatically performed. All right. It's the part where we get some input shaper going on. I guess we'll wait. What do you guys think so far? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think the majority of people will be able to follow those steps. a roll later. Well, it's interesting because I have to use it. Honestly, I've been kind of avoiding looking at reviews for this because I didn't know if I was going to get one, and I kind of like to go in blind with very little information, right? So that I can give a pretty unbiased result. It's good to know some things, like I was aware of some of the things, but the actual usage, very easy. I could figure that out. 30 to 45 minute setup. If you're doing it quick, you could probably get it done in about 20 minutes. It says 10 minutes on the website. 20 minutes is pretty reasonable. It's quick. It's definitely quick. And I'll go through a full intensive usage. I don't generally post dedicated reviews because I'm a firm believer that a review takes a lot of time. At least 3 months of consistent on and off usage, which you can see if they've updated the firmware and you know, how it actually performs and holds up. I'm going to be creating a proper review template pretty soon. So if you have any suggestions on what I should include, how many hours should I print on the printer, how many kilograms of filament to go through, how many types of materials to test it with, all those things, I'm going to be making a dedicated like reviewer guide to follow. Because I think right now, a lot of content creators are getting a printer that's sent to them, unboxing it, and then making a video on it, and that's their review. You know, maybe printing it on it for a few weeks. And that's just not a review, it's an overview. It's a first look. It's not a review. But they're labeled as a review because that's what the standard YouTube audience tends to like. Is it stripped down or full clipper? I don't know. It looks like it's stripped down, given the display right here. We'll see. Oh, I have Polymaker PA6 CF, PA12. I have their PPS CF, but we'll have to get some some other brands too, because Polymaker's nylon is way too easy to print. You don't need a chamber heater. So I'm gonna try to get some maybe 3DX Tech, some of the harder stuff to print, just to see if I can print it on here. It's full clipper when you connect the IP. I'm talking about on here, like the experience. Not a lot of people are gonna just log into Clipper and use this printer. Ooh, it is shaking. It is shaking. It's rotating the spool. Wow, that is a powerful printer. Damn. It's still somehow quieter than a Bambu when it's doing its input shaping. It's like a deeper roar. It's roaring at me. The screen is basic. Yeah, it's fine. I need to stop a print, pause a print, move the printer around, and set the temperature, and maybe send, you know, start a file. Like, there's not much you do from the screen. Seriously, think about it. Not many people are gonna log into Clipper and use this printer. Well, yeah, not a lot of, like, I'd say probably 95% of people are just gonna use this printer. Maybe 90%. And then maybe the extra 10% are gonna go through and actually look at the online config, and maybe 1% are actually gonna change printer config settings. Like, most people, the average person, I'm assuming, just wants to print. And that's why I am taking a look at some more printers like this coming up in 2025, where I think printers are kind of good now. They're starting to get good. There was a weird period where Bambu launched their printer and then dominated for a little bit, and then companies tried to release things to compete but utterly failed, and now we have this. Ooh, that's a loud vibration. Okay, it's definitely something like rattling a little bit. I wonder if it's these guys right here. I don't know. But that is the input shaper doing its thing, which is perfectly normal. That's not going to make those noises on a regular basis. In fact, it's input shaping, so it knows not to make those noises, if that makes any sense. It's testing the resonance of the printer so it can cancel them out. It's genius. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Bambu was on top for a bit, and then this is the next closest thing that I can actually compare to my X1 Carbon. Honestly, in 2025, it took a couple of years. Yeah, screensaver. We have the bed on. Okay, it's going to do our bed mesh probably, or something like that. I will give an honorable mention to the FlashForge 5M, which is an amazing little printer. It's just small. It's a 220 bed, and I think a lot of people, if you're going to get a printer like this, they want a big printer. And honestly, 300 is not that big. It's a good size. So yeah, the FlashForge is amazing. I have the 5M Pro, and it worked great. Beautiful prints. That's all I really care about. Do the prints come out good? Yes. Okay, it's awesome then. And it's a fast printer. But just like the loading of filament, just a little bit finicky. Now, FlashForge is coming out with the 5M, let's see, 85X, which is their 4-color version, and that should be very interesting. All right, it's giving us an option for auto bed leveling, input shaping. I'm guessing we're gonna have to do auto bed leveling. Leveling at the temperature corresponding to printing. Okay, so this is kind of interesting, and I don't know how the firmware is set up, but it's essentially bed leveling at the temperature that it's expecting to print at. So if you're printing ABS and you want this bed to be at 100, 110C, then you have to heat up the bed to that temperature because it's going to warp a little bit different at those higher temperatures. So for now, I'm just going to do a 60C. Let's do 65C because that's usually what my first layer of PLA is. 65C bed mesh. And you really want to heat soak it too, ideally, assuming that it warps a lot. So we're just going to run this and go with it. My number one recommendation is to verify that the bed is preheated if you're printing it at a higher temperature, right? I'm assuming it does a bed mesh before every print anyway, which I do recommend for this big of a bed. So it's going all the way to the bottom, which is good because it's spreading around the lube that was pre-installed. So we have a huge gap around the door, like not insignificant. So if you're trying to get a complete air seal, yeah, that's not gonna happen. It's crazy because the front here has really nice foam, but on the sides, nothing. I'm guessing that a little bit of just foam could fix that, right? Looks like there's some foam right here on the front here, but not on the side. See that? Yeah, it's this foam all the way around, except here. Very interesting. Use a chamber heater, don't need to heat soak or preheat for that long. That's true, actually. Yeah, this has a chamber heater, which is something I've never actually used. So it is using inductive probe, and that's kind of interesting. Is it using the inductive probe for the bed mesh? It's going back to wipe. Very slowly. Probably a bit too slow. It's wiping. It's actually preheating the nozzle at 280. 280? That's a bit much, wouldn't you say? Did it cut the filament? What is it doing right now? Very interesting. Watching a new printer is always fun. Yeah, it's cool. Because it's a printer. Oops, I stood up. Elgato. It's a printer that theoretically you don't have to do anything to get good prints out of. And there's not many printers that you can just buy and then use without any hassle. While this is going, I'm gonna get Orca Slicer set up. So does Orca Slicer have this printer in here natively? We're gonna find out in a second. Are chamber heaters controversial? Yes, because when you're installing one yourself, you're working with mains voltage, and typically there is no out-of-the-box solution for chamber heaters. So you can throw in like a random, very deadly heater if you touch it or wire it wrong, and that's not recommended. Plus, you gotta make... Oh, did something. You gotta make sure that a chamber heater is just installed correctly. So, as long as the chamber heater itself is designed well, and the controller for it is good, which we're gonna take a look at after whatever the heck it's gonna do. Maybe after our first test print, we'll take off the back panel and look at the electronics. Maybe there's something on this flash drive. Let's plug it in. Oh, actually, no, let's see. QIDI is at the very bottom, that'll be easy. Maybe not. QIDI. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, that's cute. I didn't even realize this. Look at this. Rolohan design. Look at that. There's a rook in here now. I didn't even realize that. An LDO rook. Very cool. I love that. QIDI. Oh, there it is. X+4. Bam. This is one of my wacky stacky units. Check out Wacky Stacky. I'll have a link for that down below. It's my awesome little organizer unit with different drawer sizes, widths. It's amazing and modular. Takes like 10 years. Yeah, look at that. Look how big that is compared to a V0. Pretty cool. But let's get this back here. I don't have it connected to the internet yet, so I'll have to do that. Or maybe just for now, I should probably do that. Because that's kind of the whole point, is sending prints wirelessly. Compensation value collection. What is this? Is it compensating the inductive probe for the actual sensor? Interesting. My guess is that, I don't know how this thing works, just a complete guess. My guess is that the sensor in the bed is fixed. And it's probably in the middle, just right there. And it's pressing the nozzle against the sensor, the load cell or whatever sensor is in the bed. And then it's also using the inductive probe in the same spot to get the nozzle offset. So auto Z offset, just as a guess. And this has a very aggressive screensaver on it. I'm gonna turn that off. What should I print as my first test print? Man, I think we're gonna do an Orca cube. I love Orca cubes because they're actually very useful, and we get to see if the stock profile works. It's a 30-minute print. Okay, not bad. Just gonna do a very, very basic test once this thing is up and running. It's on compensation value collection still. I don't know what that means. Guess we're gonna find out. So like I said earlier, once I actually use this printer, I will be making a full tuned Orca slicer profile for it, because I'm already looking at it and I can see some improvements to be needed, but that's okay. So yeah, what it's doing is it's probing it's probing with the nozzle in the center of the bed, and then, I don't know, waiting for something, and then using the inductive probe to probe it. That's an interesting solution. Instead of having the load cell or sensor, nozzle sensor in the tool head, they put it in the bed in one location. That's similar to how Creality, at least like the Ender 3 V3 SE, it had one little sensor in the bed for auto Z offset. So I think that's a reasonable way of doing it. Let's do it in a full bed mesh. It's gonna take a little while. Yes, we are printing a PLA to start. I mean, I could go right into engineering materials, but PLA is the most basic of test prints. So why not? Oh my god, it's gonna take literally forever. That's okay, that's okay. I'm wondering if it does a bed mesh for every print or if it saves the loaded bed mesh, because the bed can't tilt, as far as I can tell. The bed can't like get out of sync like on the QIDI K2. So you might not have to do a bed mesh every print, maybe. Or it might do an adaptive bed mesh. Not 100% sure. Wow, this is going to take quite a while. So you can unbox it in 10 minutes, but you can definitely not set it up in 10 minutes. I don't understand what that metric was. Does this have Z-tilt? Okay, maybe it does. I'm just guessing. In fact, well, it's not connected to the internet yet, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Cool, it tells us what everything is. Nozzle wiper kit. Okay, so the whole entire nozzle wiping assembly comes out. It's pretty cool. Filament tangle detection device? No way! This has a filament tangle detection. It has an encoder of some sort. Does it actually? I think that's missing from Bambu. They don't have that on the X1. Wow. That's actually a game changer. Another feature that every single manufacturer needs to include on their printer this year. No excuses. Install a sensor in line that detects filament tangling. Oh. It's not just tangled filament, it is a problem, but it's also could be a clog in the toolhead or any issue that's abnormal feeding. You know? Any issue. I've had it. I mean, you can even get them and set them up so it detects if it's extruding at the proper rate. So if you're under extruding, then it'll detect it and say, hey, you're under extruding. Like it's not a complicated thing to get set up. It should totally be done. Yeah, it could also be a tangled spool. So if you don't properly secure your filament when you take out the filament, you might tangle it. Filament rarely gets tangled at the factory unless the person spooling it drops it. Like that's the only use case, and that's very rare. Usually it is tossed spools. Still probing. Okay. All right. Be curious how well that inductive sensor works on a higher temp. Now, one thing that I don't understand as well is why is not everyone installing an eddy sensor? We need some type of eddy current sensor on every printer because it just takes 5 seconds and scans the bed, the whole thing at once with 1,000 points, give or take. Probably not that many, but yeah, it's just crazy how fast those the Beacon, Eddy actually from Big Tree Tech, and what's the other one? Cartographer, like that style. They're relatively inexpensive. The actual hardware is very inexpensive, and if implemented into the printer, I guarantee it would only cost about like 20 bucks extra, and I would totally pay for that. Oh man, I would totally pay for that. I'd pay $50 extra to have that. Seriously, it's a feature that significantly improves your workflow. Getting a print started should be as fast as possible, and reliable. Any sensor. Pretty much, right? Almost done here. I already get my model loaded. Let's actually take a look at the profile we're on here. So I'm just using the latest version of Orca Slicer. I do recommend using Orca Slicer for every printer that you can. 0.2, using Classic. One wall on top, okay. Set up, okay. Let's see, stirring. 2 walls. I usually do 3. Usually, we'll keep it at 2 for now. 5 top, that's good. 3 bottom. Grid. No printer in 2025 should be shipping with grid. I'm just going to change that to crosshatch. At the minimum, you want crosshatch. Don't use grid, and 15% is a lot, but whatever. Speeds. Oh, this is fun. Oh, wow, it's a Bambu. It's literally a Bambu. 200 outer, 300 inner, 270 sparse, 250 solid. Wow, they just copy-pasted Bambu settings. So there's a lot of things I changed in here, but if you're printing PLA, you don't want to print a 200 outer. You really don't. We're going to try it, but I guarantee you that 200 outer is kind of at the limit of most PLA. But this does have a high flow hot end that's being limited to 14 millimeters cubed. Generic PLA, PLA Rapido. So their high flow filament, they're setting at 24 millimeters cubed, but their generic PLA 14, which is reasonable. The nozzle is only 210 as well, because it's a higher flow, allegedly higher flow hot end, so you don't need as high temperature. Bambu hot ends, for example, are not extremely high flow, so to compensate, they increase temperature. But then when you're printing slow, you start to see more more shiny lines on it. Kind of an issue. So a properly designed hot end for a high-speed printer is required. I think that's good. There's consumables drying. I guess you can use it as a chamber heater. But let's take a look. Let's open this up. Open it up. I mean, open you up. There we go. All right. 90C extruder, heat bed, chamber. I like this clean interface. I don't know what this is. Is that a picture of our model? There's a light on or off. Wow, it's dark without it. Wi-Fi, which I'm going to set up in a second here. Emergency stop. That should definitely be bigger. It's so small. Why is it so small? Welcome in AED Engineering. Wonder if you could make a ball point probe and probe lines instead of points. Ball point probe. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, maybe, right? With an encoder. That's possible. At least it's an e-stop. Well, yeah, you kind of need that on my printer. It's not instant because it's clipper. Control, we can move around everything. Oh, it lets us do it, but then it says, hey, you should probably home it first. That's pretty good. Kind of like Bambu. Dock. Okay, there's stuff on here. Oh, there's a box. A claw. Generic voron cube. Okay. Wow, there's a voron cube in here. That's interesting. QIDI VLA voron cube. Oh, wow. Very interesting. Tool always did that. Then set. That is our language, network, system message. Okay, that's for clipper. Check for messages and more. Okay. That seems pretty good. I'll accept it. So right now I will connect it to my Wi-Fi. I'm just going to click network, hit the search. I think. No, maybe not. Oh, that's to test the internet. Okay. Wi-Fi connection. I'm going to put it on my regular Wi-Fi network. See, Hunter 02. Show the display. Oh, wait, yeah, sorry. I'll show the display. Connection successful. There we go. There we go. Now we are on the internet. So now we can hypothetically go and see the IP address right there. Fluid account. I don't know what that means. What is a fluid account? Fluid account. We're in 115. So you can go into your internet browser and type in the IP address, and there you are. There's our printer. So you have a full what looks like a full fluid interface. Locking down the web interface. Oh, can you lock this down, like, so you have to log in to access it? Which would be good if you're on a, you know, if you're at home and you don't want someone accessing this, because you could just, like, hit the IP address and go in here. That's actually good if you can lock it down. I do prefer mainsail, but fluid's fine, because I'm not really gonna do much in here. But we are going to take this IP and throw it into, oops, here we go. Throw it into here, which is right there. I remove the HTTP, just do the IP address, and then I also put this into the device UI, test it, works correctly. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then you can also go into device in here. In Orca Slicer, hit the device tab, which is hiding. And we can print it, 32 minutes. I'm gonna do completely stock. I did change the infill to crosshatch because grid is terrible. Upload and print. It's gonna send us over to the screen, and you can see it's doing its thing. It's actually cool to watch the console to see what it's actually doing. Printing with printing with enclosure may cause high temperature. Yeah, so it tells us to open the top cover to keep it ventilated. Wow, that's nice. But it lets us cancel that pop-up so it never shows up again. Yeah, very slow. 5 FPS. I wonder if we can modify that. Wow, how do I use fluid? I have no idea. Where's my interface setting? Oh my god. Services? Adjust the application dashboard? Nope. Oh my god, I don't know. I do not know how to use fluid. Settings. Where's the camera setting? Where you adjust your camera stuff. Time lapse? No. This is where you can set all the things in the interface, if you choose to use the interface. I usually do. Oh, we can change our printer name. This is a +4. There we go. I can even put QIDI. Can't type. QIDI +4. It says cameras. Does it say cameras? Oh, there we go. Nice. Cameras. Defaults. Oh, there we go. FPS target. FPS target when not in focus. Let's just try 30. Just to see if it works. I don't know. Why not? Do we have to reset Clipper to use it? I'm not sure. Exit layout mode. 6. We're at 6 now. Honestly, that's fine. That's fine. If it can't hit higher frame rates, at least we can see it. Although it's kind of a shame that we can't stream from it, because if you want to stream your camera, it's really nice to be able to stream it. So maybe there's a workaround. If you know a good workaround to get a full 30 FPS out of this thing, then let me know in the comments down below. I'll probably have figured it out if it's possible. Set it at a lower res. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really heavily involved with. Wow, that's a terrible full screen. Let's go to the browser. Maybe do this. Nope, it's so small. There we go. There's our, wow, okay. There's our preview. Oof. Yeah, it's pretty laggy. It's good enough to see if your print is actually, you know, printing, but that's not good. Compared to what the X1 Carbon has, that's not good. But this is not expensive as the X1 Carbon, and this is more of a P1P competitor, so it's about as good as the P1P. It's also very delayed. Wow, it's already probing the middle of the bed right now. Maybe it's because I adjusted the settings. Oof. Yeah, I'll have to look into that later. But that's okay. For now, we'll just see how it works. And maybe I can get this camera pointed inside the thing. Actually, I'll just open the door and switch to here. Look inside the printer. Can't really see too much, can you? Oh, it's so bright too. Maybe the overhead camera. Guess we'll have to go with that. Push it over here a little. You can kind of see what's going on. Take the top off for now. We are printing PLA. Maybe someone has a mod where you can put the side panel here, like on the side. Be cool. Maybe on the other side, throw it in the back there. Because where am I going to put this? I don't know. Back here. When printing PLA, I usually just have the front open on the Bambus. I leave the top on because once the box, whatever the multicolor box goes on here, we're gonna want to have that glass on anyway. And I don't like risers because I typically am mixing either printing PLA and ABS, you know, one or the other. So I don't want to have to control whether or not I'm venting at the top or not, unless it's a quick vent. Oh, and it's printing. Look at that. Whoops. I wanted to zoom in. Let's see. I got this fancy new control scheme. Although I don't know what the application is. Which one is it? What is this thing called? OBSBot? OBSBot Center? Is that the one? Because I can just move this around. There we go. Very nice. I'm gonna have to get a dedicated controller for that somehow, like a joystick. That'd be cool. How do these rails compare to flat ones? Okay, so a typical I call these linear rods, and I call this style a linear rail, right? Like this guy. Let's see. This one right here. This is your typical linear rail, and that is hypothetically, well, it's not hypothetically, it's definitely more rigid, but implementing it is more difficult. I would like to see printers with those on maybe on the side. I don't know. Honestly though, if this works, then it works. You know, if we can use good, high quality bearings, I guess this is fine. Yeah, the USB port is back like here on the back top. Kind of unfortunate because if you use the USB a lot, if you're manually transferring files, maybe you want to use it offline, then that's a odd thing. First impression, it's printing good. It is printing matte because we're printing PLA at 200 millimeters a second. So this printer is going to get my same treatment as the Bambu because, yeah, it's just printing too fast for this filament. If you want to make sure your PLA is as strong as possible, you need to use a slower printing speed. That's all. Does it defeat the purpose of having a fast printer? Absolutely not. Because if you want to increase the speeds, you can. That's the thing. You can increase the speed. You don't have to increase the speed. It's magic. Could you slow it down on fluid? I could, but as you might know, you never want to slow down your print in in the firmware, because your flow and other settings are all directly related to this slicer profile. So if you want to slow this down, stop it and actually set the settings correctly in the slicer. It's a crazy concept, but yeah. Pressure advance values, everything changes when your speed goes up, so you kind of you're forced to make a profile for fast printing. All right, let's see if I can get this side cam working. The close-up camera, so we get a better view of what's going on there. Oh wow, I still have to go higher. Damn. Whatever. That's about as good as you need to see. Right there. Boop boop. On the screen, we do see a preview. I can show you that. We see a preview of what it's printing. Right now I'm printing an Orca cube, which is my favorite test print because it has a screw built into it, so we can test, you know, size and flow. And then it has a bunch of solid walls. We can check for quality, and all like over extrusion. Lots and lots and lots of tests. This is my filament. Yes, we are printing with Hedgehog Makes Galaxy Red. Galaxy Red right here, and you can even see in this preview that it's shiny, right? Galaxy. Unfortunately, the light right here completely blows out the camera. That's how bright it is. It looks pretty good in real life. It's just the glare has a bit of a glare. That's all. I can tell you in real life, this is very good lighting. In order to get the same result on a Bambu, actually less result, you have to go with something like this, the Big Tree Tech Panda Lux, which is an add-on little light. And I think this is brighter than that. These are some bright lights. So yeah, if you want the best, in my opinion, red with sparkle, you can check out Hedgehog Makes Galaxy Red from Polymaker. Here's a Deadpool bust by Eastman. It is a beautiful, beautiful color with majestic sparkles that will make heads turn. And this is what happens when you print it at respectable speeds for PLA. You know, it looks kind of shiny, a little bit of a sheen to it, which I personally prefer. But if you want to, you can print it fast and get a matte result like what we're about to have right here. Looking pretty good. Honestly, I think that this is printing better than my Bambu. Which, if that's the case, is exactly what I want. I want to see manufacturers start making printers that print good. Please. You don't like the Panda Lux, you got the Jupine LED strip, which is exactly the right length. Claims the proper wattage. It was $3. Yeah, I mean, the Lux has been working for me. I've been actually running the Lux and the stock light on all of my printers, and it's been fine for now. I just leave it on 24/7. It works. I like how it's magnetic, and it's about the easiest thing you can possibly do, besides maybe, you know, gluing on a strip. Yeah, so one of the reasons why I initially did not get this printer, for various reasons, but the main reason is there was an issue with the solid state relay for the chamber heater. So, you know, an unsafe chamber heater is not something you want to hear, so I kind of just avoided it, and I think a lot of people did. So this is kind of the coming back of this printer with the updated. I'm thinking it's just the solid state relay that's updated from the initial one. But once this print is finished, we're going to take apart the back side and take a look at the electronics. I should have done that first, but I kind of wanted to get a test print off to see how well it printed. What's the point of talking about a printer if it can't print well? You have 1,500 hours in your +4. Wow. That's pretty good. A few hours later. It's a 30-minute test print. But we gotta test it. We need to test it. Oh, is that what the issue was? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, I'm guessing they were testing this printer mainly on 220 volts versus 110 volts. And generally, you know, you get half of the amperage on, you know, on 220 volts. Just how math works, right? Maybe less because of resistance. Actually, like quarter of the amperage? It's less, right? Less on 220 volts, depending on the, you know, the application. But a higher amperage on a lower voltage to make the same power means that, yeah, stuff will get hotter. The metal, or the hot end, is definitely hardened. You can see that the tip is a different material. It's a hard material. In fact, we can look at West3D's website and see what parts are available for this. Let me type this in. So if you're looking for replacement parts and you live in the US, I strongly recommend West3D. I've been a partner with them since their company was created, a long time now, and they never disappoint. Never, ever. So you get the printer here. They have... So, is this what ships with the printer? Tungsten carbide bimetallic nozzle? What? Is that true? OEM? Is this what it comes with? Because that is insane if it does. If that's stock, that's absolutely... Yeah, this cannot be stock. It has to be an upgrade. There's no way they'd ship tungsten carbide with their printer. But, okay, that's an upgrade? Yeah, I would totally get that. That is insane. Tungsten carbide is like one of the hardest materials you can get for a nozzle. And I believe... Is it the whole tip? Anyway, I'd probably look into getting this. And West3D sells that. They sell chamber heaters by themselves. They sell chamber heaters by themselves, specifically for a +4. You wouldn't want to try to put that in another printer. Definitely don't look at that for modding other printers. Socks, toolhead board. That's pretty cheap for a toolhead board. Okay, here are the standard bimetallic nozzles that come with the printer, more than likely. So you get 2 pieces for 40 bucks. Yeah, that's pretty good. 20 bucks a nozzle. I'll take that. You rarely have to change them. So if you want to pick up an 8mm, 0.6, 0.2. Oh, you can see the printer is shaking a little, huh? It's because my webcam's on a big arm. Any little vibration transfers over. Nice. What else do they have here? Oh, like an auxiliary cooling fan? That could be a great thing to slap on another printer. Really, that could be great for modding printers, because these ducts are so difficult to print and, you know, print well, and the whole thing is a pain. They have cutter blades. They have actual replacement boards here. Wow, this is a lot. Hot end cooling. They sell the PEI sheets right there. They have a cooling fan too. And wow, even cables. That's a lot of replacement parts. Seriously. That's quite a bit for a printer that, I don't know how old it is, but that's still pretty much everything you'd want to replace. So check that out. I'll have a link for that in the description. That is west3d.com/zombiehedgehog. west3d.com/zombiehedgehog. Code zombiehedgehog at checkout. With more coming. Oh yes. I'm guessing once I publish this video, these are going to sell quick. Because this looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to have to spend a lot more time with this printer, print ABS on it, nylon, TPU, If you have suggestions on what I should print, leave a comment down in the description. And while you're down there, make sure to like this video, hit subscribe for more content like this. We do everything 3D printing related on this channel, with lots more to come. Event coverage, that'll be something kind of new this year that I'm trying to get a little more involved with. Floppy TPU filament, yeah, of course. So this is the Orca cube. So Orca Slicer, oh, it's going out of focus. Orca Slicer has a cube that they use that has a little screw in it. And, well, I locked the focus, but you can see it comes out of the bottom. It just screws into the bottom here. Just like that. This was a test print that failed. It's too tight. But yeah, it goes in the bottom, so you can test the tolerances right out of the gate. It's amazing. It looks so good. This is how I felt when I got the Bambu. The first prints I did on it was like amazing. Travel speeds are fast. It's not loud. Has a little bit of fan noise, but it's definitely reasonable. I like it. Let's take a look at the web interface and the config while this is printing. Let's see. Let us see. All right. So we are in fluid. Oh yeah, we can check the bed mesh, can't we? Bed mesh. Home. Where's the bed mesh in this thing? Console, G-code, jobs, history, time-lapse, tune, configuration, system, or settings. Oh. No, that's a G-code preview. Does anyone know where the bed mesh is in fluid? Tune. Where's tune? Here? Oh, tune. Well, that's not really tuning, but okay. Aha. Yeah, that's quite the bed mesh there. That is an adaptive bed mesh, which I'm guessing it did. So this is funny. The bed mesh in this tiny little area is a range of 0.2 millimeters. 0.2. That's what you want to see across the whole bed, ideally. Let's see if they have any... aha, camp. So it makes a new profile called camp, which is an adaptive probe, and uses that. But the default bed mesh, we can load this in. Printer is currently busy. I'm not sure what that would do. What happens if I hit yes? Is it gonna like destroy my printer? I've never actually seen that. Don't do that. Does that like load a new bed mesh in while it prints? Does it actually let you do that? I can at least see the range is 1. And 1 is perfectly acceptable for this big of a bed. But that's about the most I would want. 1 millimeter, not the best. But yeah, it works. For a 300 bed, that's about the most that I would want to see. But let's take a look at the configuration here. Camp. Alright, let's go to printer.config and just poke around. It's always fun. Now remember, if you're in here, don't make any changes unless you know what you're doing. Let's see, we have a MCU 1, temperature sensor, resonance tester, so it's using 150 acceleration per hertz. I think the stock is 75. Bed screws are defined. That's interesting. Yeah, looks like it does have bed screws. So we can run a bed screw calibration test and see how out of screw our bed is, and we can manually adjust that if needed. That's pretty good, I believe. They have a platform adjust option. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Gotcha. So that uses bed screws to level the bed, and that's probably what the issue is. It's probably just tilted. Change all the things. Yeah, don't. Hall effect width sensor. Interesting. Don't know what that's for. Oh, width sensor. Hall effect width sensor. Interesting. This is our encoder for the For the filament sensor, I'm guessing. Sensor generates 2 analog output based on calculated filament width. Sum of output voltage always equals detected filament width. Wow. That's interesting. Very cool. So it has that. I'm guessing that's what's used over there. Maybe it's cool, maybe it's not. I don't know. But if someone wants to copy this and put it in their printer, there you go. It's right there. Seriously. Extruder. Gear ratio 1517 to 170. That is very specific. That's a very specific gear ratio. Interesting. What else are they using? Oh, they're using a max amplifier. So I don't know. I don't know what type of sensor it is, but they're using a high temp sensor because they have to. This nozzle goes up to, I think, 370. We'll see where it... max temp 380. So it goes up to 380 before shutting off, which is very high for a 3D printer. About 100 C higher than most printers. Pressure advance is set to 0.032. That's fairly reasonable. They have a smaller pressure advance smooth time. Stock is 0.04. They produce at 0.03. Extruder is running at 0.7 amps. That seems reasonable. No stealth chop enabled. Very nice. Printer, max velocity 600, max XL 2000, max XL decel, 20K and 10K for that. Max Z velocity 20. Probably increase that, but don't take my word for it. ZXL is only 500. I'm guessing you can definitely increase that. Square corner velocity is only 8. That's very conservative. You can probably bump this up to 25 or 30, but I'd have to test it. Stepper X. Oh, interesting. It does not have a rotation distance of 40. I wonder if that's... Oh yeah, they're using weird belts on this printer. I forgot about that. They're using a smaller pitch belt versus their typical GT2 belts, like really tiny. Interesting. And that probably accounts for a different rotation distance. Very cool. And I'm guessing that's going to help out significantly with quality. So if this works out, I can totally see other manufacturers copying them. They're 9mm belts, but I think the pitch, I'm guessing, maybe it's not, but maybe the pitch is smaller. I thought the pitch was smaller on these. Maybe I'm just talking. But they're definitely 9mm belts, which is good. Imagine that, designing a printer to use 9mm belts and actually using 9mm belts. I think on Bambu you can use a 9mm belt, but they just decided to use a 6 because they must not have felt the difference. Okay. Except for X and Y. Except for Z. Except for Z1. So they are using 2 independent Z motors. That's what I wanted to check. So that means that the bed can tilt. I mentioned earlier that it definitely does not, but yes, the bed can tilt. And it does run a Z tilt routine before it prints to level the bed, or at least it should. It's right here, Z tilt. This speed is way too slow. That should be like 600 because that's the movement of the head while it's going back between the 2 sides. Customer asked for replacement belts. They're different pitch, but very reasonably priced. You think a set of 9mm belts would be sub $20? Okay. I mean, that'd be worth definitely stocking. I think I saw on their website right here. Oh, that's your website. Where is their actual website? Where's their website? Alright, I got rid of it somewhere. It's around here somewhere. But I think it said what they were on the website. They're definitely not standard, like standard what we typically use. We are running a current of 1 amp for the motors. That seems a little low, but reasonable. Interpolation is true. Stealth chop is off. Okay. That's probably fine. Our Z motor is running at 1.7 amps too, with stealth chop on. That's kind of interesting. So they're using, they're not using stealth chop on the Z, probably for noise. And sensorless. Sensorless homing, just standard clipper sensorless homing. 9mm 1.5 GT. So that's compared to GT2. Is it 2 GT? So it's like a little bit smaller pitch than a 2mm. It's kind of weird because wasn't 3 GT a standard, like wider width? I don't know. Definitely looks smaller. Generic heater, generic chamber. So they have a chamber heater that's PID controlled, max temp of 65. That's reasonable for printing a lot of materials, but it's not crazy high. Remember, this is not a industrial grade printer. This is a actually, oh wow, they've lined the inside of the printer with foam. I just realized that. I wonder if that's for noise or for heat insulation. Very interesting. A thin layer of little, like a foam, like a felty foam. Huh. Okay. Max power 0.4. Okay, that's interesting. Do not mess with this power, or this value right here, because that is what will make your heater output more power. So right now they've tuned it to output a maximum power, probably based off of your location. So don't mess with that value. I'm actually telling you, do not mess with that, because that is how much power it outputs. So let's say it's a 1,000 watt heater. They're currently running it at 400 watts, right? If you set it higher to, let's say, max power 1, now you're throwing 100 watts at it, and that might not work. Mac, I think if they get this up to Fern Dog, I appreciate it. So yeah, this is where chamber heater starts to get tricky, is when you have full access to it. So I would just be very cautious when doing any editing here. I don't know what power draw the chamber heater is. In fact, let's go to West 3D's page, because they do sell replacements. Chamber heater. Nope, no info. No info. Yeah, consulter. Advertised 400 watts. Okay. So that's actually not a lot. I don't know, it's a reasonable amount. But just be careful if you do increase this max power and you know, the limits, because these things are designed to run at a certain threshold. So definitely don't play around with the max power and max temperature to raise how hot the chamber can get. Don't do that. Let's see. Chamber temperature, thermal protection, max temp 140. What? So your chamber can't get over 140? Is that what it's saying? What? I've never seen this right here. Oh, unless that's, I don't know. Weird. Verify heater, extruder. Okay. They're allowing a little bit of air in the extruder and the heater, which is fine. It means that it won't just, if it sees a sudden loss of temperature for whatever reason, and then it spikes back, so if it's a temporary loss of power or something, then it'll compensate for that and just not do anything. Auxiliary cooling fan. Circulation fan, chamber fan, hot end fan 2, hot end fan 3? Why is there 3 hot end fans? Can somebody explain that to me? Why there's 3 and a chamber fan? Chamber circulation fan? I'm so confused. Why are there so many fans? So hold on. There's auxiliary cooling fan. That's a side fan, I'm guessing. Chamber circulation fan, chamber fan. This must be the exhaust fan. What is chamber circulation fan? I have no idea what that could possibly be. Oh, that's probably attached to the heater. I'm guessing. It's on the heater itself, maybe? Like the chamber heater. Is there a fan that goes with this? I'm not sure. Maybe. And then there's hot end fan 2, hot end fan 3. I'm guessing maybe there's one for the extruder, or like the actual control board area, maybe. So hot end, part cooling, and then board cooling, maybe. Generic cooling fan. That might be for something. I don't know. What is it set to kick on with? Anything? No. Controller fan boards. That's for the back fan. Oh, it's a heater fan. Okay. Yes, these are heater fan, extruder. That's a chamber fan. Paste light. Beeper. I don't know what the heck that is. Smart effector? What the heck? What is a smart effector? Is this for the probe? Bed mesh. Oh yeah, we're gonna heavily increase that speed. Yeah, we're gonna mess around with bed mesh and probing at a later date. Lots of things little things we're gonna do to update this. So if you want to see what I change, I'll have all the changes posted on my Patreon. I'll have a link for that down in the video description. But there's a couple little things I'd probably change based off of my experience. But overall, it looks pretty good. And if you're getting good prints out of it, then just leave it alone. Don't mess with it. But I'm an enthusiast, and I like to mess with it. Right? There we go. We're almost done. Almost done. The board should be huge. I know, I'm excited to see it. It does look very clean. I'm gonna look at it, but it looks pretty clean. Oh, cool. There's a whole. Oh wow, look at this. They have a guide for like everything on here. So preparation, it tells you what nozzle to use, how to dry it, what nozzle size, dry box, print with enclosure, max print speed, chamber temperature, it's like all the slicer settings. That's really cool. This is great. Like, seriously, if you're a beginner, this is a lot of good info. Yeah, this is very good. Generic filament. Okay, so they have QIDI filaments, which, I mean, they're gonna recommend their own filaments, but there's nothing locking you out of using whatever filament you want with this. And max print speeds. Cool. Very cool. There's tips in here too. Oh, it does tell you all the specs right in here. Huh, that's nice. The hot end, 52 seconds to heat up from 200 to 220C. I think some heaters are faster, but that's pretty respectable. Hardened steel gears by stock, 370C, has a bimetal hot end. PEI magnetic build plate, 120C build, or bed, 120C bed. Closed loop control fans. Not really sure what that means, but I don't think they're smart. Hey, we're done. It lowers the bed a little bit. Oh, rated power. 450 watts plus 400 for chamber heating. Okay. So this can draw at most in the US 950 watts. So be careful just plugging this into any circuit. Alright. So how I like to remove these cubes, this is a zombie life pro tip right here. How I like to remove them is take the cube, take it off. Wow, it's a very good bond. And then screw it into here a little bit, and then rip it off And then, hear me out, use this to release the, use it as a scraper. Look at that. You could actually use these as scrapers if you'd like. Just unscrew a little bit and you have a little built-in scraper. That's a hidden function of the Orca Cube. I don't like how they have that right next to the print. I don't like that. I'm probably going to want to mess around with it. But let's check the print quality. Overall, I'd say pretty good. Under the light, I would say it's pretty much on par with Bambu. Right? You can definitely see some inconsistent extrusion, but remember, this is the stock profile with 0 tuning. And damn, that's pretty good. Let's see. The flow, a little on the high side. You can definitely tell it's over extruding here. So yeah, a little high in the flow. You can definitely see it scraping too. So if we tune down the flow, that should help out with some wall inconsistencies. VFAs, I mean, I don't see any. I actually don't. We're gonna have to do a test print in the future with Orca Slicer and see. We got a little bit of like weirdness right here. But overall, I'd say this is a very good test print. Print the belt adjustment. Oh, the belts. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, these belts are, yikes. Those are very loose. Wow. Way looser than Bambu even. I do have my West 3D fancy belt tension meter right here. And I could probably just give a reading of it. We are at... Are they loose? Is that 2? It says 2. We're around 2. Is it supposed to be that loose? I don't know how tight these should be. They're 9mm belts. They're at 2. 2 on the scale. Okay. They loosen after their first run. Right now it's at 2. So what should it be if we're going to adjust it? I'm not going to do that on stream, but 1.5 is where it should be, a 9mm. 1.5, so even looser? I should loosen them even further? Oh, my camera. Oops. Oh dear. I gotta undo all my camera things. Don't mind me. Do. Okay, maybe it's fine. I mean, to be honest, when I first heard how tight belts actually need to be, I was shocked. They're a lot looser than you expect. Whatever, good enough. Good enough for now. All right. Let's turn it off and see what's in the back. Where's the power button for this thing? Well, over here. A couple of small extra details that I wanted to get at the beginning, but I didn't, is the max depth it'll need. So from the wall, I would recommend a max depth of 21 inches, the actual feet. So the max depth to the feet is over 18 inches. So, but the actual feet is less than 16 inches. So this will fit on a 16-inch shelf, but the front will overhang and the back will overhang. So you have to pull it away from the wall. But it will fit on a 16-inch shelf. That's very good because a larger printer will not. So what we're going to do is flip this guy around. Very grippy feet. Very, very grippy. Guess we could use the handles to move it around too. Oh, it's still grippy. Grippy. And take off this back panel. Unplug it too. Looking pretty good. So some stuff that I look for I'm guessing it's like these 1,000 screws. Some things that I look for when evaluating a printer is how consistent they are over time. And that's one of the major drawbacks to quite a few printers is, you know, I'll unbox it, I'll get a really good first test print on stream, and then the second one I do, like the nozzle is printing way too high. So testing for consistency is going to be very important with this printer. Now Bambu, with whatever routine they use, just the black piece. Oh, I want to do the whole thing. I want to look at the whole back. Well, let's start with this, I guess. Is 16-inch shelf width standard? Yes. Yes, it is. Most like racks you can buy are good, or 16 inches. But yeah, Bambu has proven to be very consistent over time. You know, I have 5,000 hours on one of my original X1Cs, and it prints like new, with very little maintenance. So that's kind of what I'm expecting for a lot of printers, is just printers that work for a long time without any intervention. If I have to go into Clipper and change any type of Z offset values, well, I shouldn't have to do that, right? I shouldn't have to. So here's this. I'm just gonna set this down, and yeah, we'll have to. I guess there's not really much behind here. Do you guys want to take this back panel off? Is it that easy? I'd rather not if I don't have to. We can at least look at the board. No? Okay. Gotta go into manual exposure here. Come on, TARS. My thing blocks this. Okay, hold on. Manual exposure. Good enough. Yeah, there's cables. There's definitely cables. Wow, there's a lot going on here. Just a friendly note, don't touch things in here because they could be charged with electrical stuffs. I don't really know what's going on without taking out this back cover. But I do trust that this is the latest version of this printer, as verified by West3D. So, yeah. Overall, what's back here? We have some USB ports. Looks like a little Wi-Fi module, maybe, right here, this white thing. Is that literally it? That can't be. What is this white thing? Comfast CF something something or another. CFWU815N. Whatever the heck that is. That's plugged in back here. Wi-Fi? Okay. That's kind of odd that it's just a little Wi-Fi dongle without any antenna at all. Oh great, now I have to plug this back in. Ah, there we go. Ethernet extension that extends back here. So yes, there is Ethernet. Look at that, down there. Ethernet. Ooh, we love Ethernet. So if you want to run this hardwired, go for it. No Wi-Fi needed. One of them must be an extender for the USB. Oh, let's move it to the top port. Okay, so take this right here and move it to the top of the printer. That's actually pretty smart. You can actually just plug in a little USB extension too. Probably like a little board, and then plug that in the top. Or just hardwire it, whatever you want to do. I didn't have any issues here, but I'm right next to my router. So if you're having Wi-Fi issues, you have options, which is nice. Yeah, looks pretty good. Exposed terminals, but you're not really back in here a lot, hopefully. Just don't stick a screwdriver in because there's the, you know, covered ports here, or uncovered ports. Like you could just like boop, boop, boop. That's not good. They should have had a little cover over the the heater bed and all the AC wiring stuff. I like the wires though. Pretty nice. Alright, so my only real concern is just the ability to poke screwdrivers through into the back there. But you really shouldn't be doing that anyway, right? Yeah, cool. Not too shabby. Well, you don't stick a screwdriver in. I can, but you don't do it. Is there an SD card on the board? Not here. No, I think that's just for. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know what that slot's for. Maybe it's for firmware updates. Not 100% sure. All right. Now that you've seen the board, you've seen pretty much everything. Man, what do you think? What do you think? I am impressed. This is a printer that I didn't know that I wanted until I saw people printing on it. And that's what inspired me, is I saw some people in my community who actually got their printers from West 3D. Is that right? Let me screw this thing in. And yeah, that's how I buy printers, or want to buy a printer. I see people printing on them in high quality. That's all. It's like, it's simple. If the printer can print good and it's easy to use, then I want to buy it. I think that's kind of the point of this printer. Is it's a not just your standard printer that prints PLA, but it can print engineering materials. This easy? Man. Well, we'll have to test that, so stay tuned. I'll have plenty of content on my Twitch channel, so anytime I'm live, make sure to stop in and say hello. Otherwise, if I do post a video on this, it'll be over here on Twitch in the future. Or sorry, on I'm streaming on Twitch. I am posting this onto YouTube. Let me know, do you want to see a long-term usage? And let me know how many hours, how many material types you want to see. And while you're down there in the comments, check the description. We'll have all the links to everything related to this printer, the models you've seen, and a Wacky Stacky. You guys seen Wacky Stacky? It's pretty good. It's wacky. You can stacky. It's available now for free. It's a free model. It's a nice little modular screw organizer where you can lock this in place halfway out. Bet people don't even know that. And then they don't tilt out immediately, except this top cover, but whatever. Working on some labels. Very cool system. Check this out. I have a link down below. Oops. Okay, I guess it's gonna stay here. All right. I guess that's it. So, oh man, I'm pretty sure that's all I really need to say about this printer here, but yeah. Heavy. Definitely requires team lift. Would I recommend it? I cannot tell you. Use this stream to make your own judgment. And if you're to buy one, buy it from West 3D. So very cool. All right, on to the after party over on Twitch. But if you're on YouTube, before you leave, hit that like button, subscribe for more content. I will catch you in the next one. Have a good night, good morning, good evening, and goodbye. Make sure to buy this spool of filament. This one. Hedgehog makes Galaxy Red.